What it do, what the business is. We back. It's the Trash Talk Countdown Show. Ooh. Man, I'm just saying. All I'm saying is I don't know if there's anybody who's performed a jingle to
The
start a
the
show.
new the new the new spokesperson for Booger Sugar, Shine Barnes.
I'm just what you trying to say? What you trying to say? It's the count. See, you made me mess it up. Listen,
Hey man, let's get into the show, man. Let's get into
listen,
the show.
listen. Welcome to another episode of Trash Talk with Bobby and Shine. That's your host, Bobby. I'm Shine, and today we got a doozy. Uh, last night was interesting to say
It
the
was very
least.
it's very interesting. We're not even going to talk about the UFC tonight. We're going to talk about mostly boxing. The only thing we're going to talk about UFC is UFC 261. We're going to make our predictions tonight for next week's fight on Saturday night, where they got three championship fights. But before we get into UFC 261 picks, especially Sean's picks, because usually he's half right, not wrong most of the time.
All my stuff be wrong,
But
terrible.
we're gonna talk about Habits 365, man. Look, we're affiliated with Habits 365, and as you may know from previous shows, if you want to get some of that gear, go to habits365.com/ trash talk BS. Get your 10% discount when you use that backslash trash talk BS and get you some of that good apparel over there at Habits 365. That's what we do all day, every day. Good
Don't you
habits.
don't you backtalk me. So look,
Let's get into the first part of the show, man.
y'all
UFC
know what we do.
261 picks, man.
Y'all know what we do. 5 minutes on the clock. Some of your favorite subjects, some of your touchy subjects. Here we go. First up, UFC 261 is finally here. It is officially fight week. And
So excited.
so it's still a
As
doozy.
it's still a doozy. As my best friend uh Kevin Hart would say, so excited.
So look, from the top down, we got Kamar Usman versus Jorge Masvidal 2, Street Jesus in the building. Uh Zhang Wali versus Rose Namajunas for another title, strawweight title. Valentino Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade for another title, the flyweight title. And then you got Chris Weidman versus Uriah Hall, sprinkled in. You know, something to watch. Anthony Smith
Yeah.
versus Jimmy Crute to open up the pay-per-view. So look, what fight are you most looking forward to?
Man, you know what fight I'm most looking
I
forward
gotta
to, man.
ask. I
I'm
gotta
looking forward
ask.
to that Usman versus Masvidal fight, man. The second time around, if you'd have watched the last show, we talked a little bit about Masvidal's interview and what he said about Usman and the whole outlook of him having a full training camp. Well, maybe not a full training camp, but a better training camp this time around for Usman, and him saying that he has something for Usman and Usman can't run away from or hug his way to a victory this time. And that's what really excites me. But I got a question for you, man. D- For two female fights on a card like this, it makes this card more just that much more exciting because you got Zhang and you got Shevchenko, two individuals that have been putting on shows, show after show after show. Man, I would say Usman Masvidal is my favorite man, but for you, what are you looking forward to on this card, man? Seriously, what are you looking forward to?
Chris Weidman versus Uriah. I'm just messing. So the main thing that I'm looking for, and in probably what's the word I'm looking for, the the not so great way, kind of interesting now with that whole Rose Namajunas. What did she say? Better dead than red comments about Zhang Wali, which is like it just came out of nowhere. You didn't see that?
No, I didn't see that right there. That's
Oh
kind of
yeah, she was talking about like because she's Chinese, descent, and then she just went on and on. And I'm pretty sure Rose is what, Lithuania, and they had problems before then. But it got brought into fighting like stuff always does. But then it just didn't quite like. You're just like, oh man, this is getting weird now. So
Yeah,
now
it
I'm
got
in,
kind of weird. That got
now
kind of weird whenever
now
you started talking about it.
now I'm interested to sort of watch this fight, even though let's do some picks. Let's do some picks. I'll tell you that because I've changed my mind about one of these title fights, and you won't believe what's next. So let's start at the top. Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. Who you got?
Man, I got Masvidal in this fight, man. I feel like he's gonna come out, throw them things, throw them bungalows, them dub deuces that we like to call it. I feel like Masvidal's gonna come in. He's gonna hit him early, hard, and often. And I don't feel like Usman's gonna come out this one victorious, man. I don't think he can hold his way or hug his way to a victory this time, man. I got Masvidal winning this one. Second round, TKO by punches to the face. What you got?
Usman gonna power jab that dude to death. Usman gonna power jab this dude to death. I'm trying to tell you, if this fight will look similar to the next fight, and we're just gonna be like, ah man, they tricked us into paying for this fight again. Is what we're gonna watch.
We're not paying for just this fight though. We
We're
got
not.
two other title fights on
That's
this too,
fine.
man. This is
Speaking
not the only fight on this one right here, but let's get to the next one though.
Zane Wali versus Rose Namajunas. Who you got?
Man, I feel like Rose has a good chance, but I don't feel like she wins this fight right here. I feel like she lost her. I don't know if she lost it or never had it, or it's one of those things where she doesn't have it as much as she did in the past. I don't feel like she has that power. I
Bro,
mean,
she
if she wins
knocked out.
to her last fight, she had plenty of opportunities to knock out her opponent, but she just didn't have that oomph. I don't know what it is, but if she wins this fight, it's going all 5 rounds, and she's gonna win by decision. But I think Zane comes out and she knocks her out in the second round. I hopefully Rose wins it, but the analyst in me says Zane has this fight in the bag. I'm just saying.
So listen. I am going to pick Zhang Weili in this fight only because I was initially on the Rose Namajunas boat for a while there, but now I feel like something is up, and Zhang Weili is too technically sound for you not to come in with the right mind, the right mindset to get this taken care of. So I got Zhang Weili in this fight over Rose Namajunas, even though I don't like to pick against Rose. Now,
I don't like picking against her either though, but I got
Valentina
to this time.
Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade.
Man, I feel like this is an easy win for Shevchenko. Seriously, I mean, Shevchenko has been challenged in her past fights, but I feel like she comes into this fight and she just proves that she's the champ again. And she does her little dance, her little 2 step after this dub that she always does. I feel like she comes in and she wins this fight right here. I mean, I feel like this is going a little bit longer than the other 2 fights. I feel like it's going to go 3 or 4 rounds, and I feel like Shevchenko is eventually is going to get a knockout, but it's going to be a harder fight for her. But I feel like she's winning this one. Who you got?
I'm going to pick Jessica Andrade.
Really?
Yep.
Just because she looks so mean in the picture?
Yep, that's exactly why that's exactly why I picked her. No, I so here's the thing. There's 3 belts on the line. And if past is prologue, that has to tell you this is going to happen. There is going to be an upset. It seems to always happen. And I looked at this and I looked at it and I looked at it and I was like, if there was going to be a surprise on this card, what would it be? Who, as a challenger, has a punching chance in their fights? And that's Jessica Andrade. And if she clips her with something, plus she's fighting at a higher weight too, and she likes it at 125. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go Jessica Andrade on this. Now, with that being said, there's a very slim chance that I'm right. But when I am right, I'm flexing on everybody. Just let it
Flex
go.
on
I'm flexing
Flex
on
on
everybody. But if there's somebody
him.
with a chance in this fight, it has to be Jessica Andrade.
I would give Rose more of a chance, but we'll see. We'll see. Here's the thing about these fights, man. The main event, Usman versus Masvidal, is the only fight that you can see Usman just winning this one, hands down. But the Zayn and Shevchenko title fights, I feel like the opponent has a chance or a puncher's chance in these two title fights, which makes it more interesting. If it was the Usman versus Masvidal and that was the only fight that I was looking at on this card, it wouldn't be as intriguing. But the three title fights, plus with them having a full building, 15,000 fans in Jacksonville, Florida, I feel like it's going to be some energy in that building. It's going to be electrifying. It's going to be, I mean, this is a card to see because after this card right here is some bull schnit. But look, man, how do you feel about this card altogether before we get into the next part of this show or the second topic that we're going to talk about? How do you feel about this card for this main card from start to finish? What do you feel about this card, man? How do you rank this card? Does this excite you to the point where it's like you're going to put the money on the line to buy?
So if I had to rank this card just a normal ranking, I would say it is a must buy. You gotta buy it. You gotta see it. It's three title fights on the line. If I were to rank this card as like, is this one of the best cards on paper that's been put together? Maybe not. Maybe not. Now, with that being said, is this the type of card that's gonna have high expectations that it lives up to? Yes, I believe it will. Is this a card that at 12:30 I'm laying in the bed like, bro, we got two more fights? Maybe that could happen.
like
You
like we
got
were last night.
you got three 5-round fights, and you know they got to put some fluff in between. So yeah, it could be long, but this is a really good card. This is a card that you don't mind paying for, not at all. So I'm excited to see it. How about you?
I am too. Hey, before
Boom.
we get into the next part, man, damn Ben. But look, man, hey, I got mine. You get yours at habits365.com, man, backslash trash talk BS, though. Hey, look, 10% discount when you order with that trash talk BS on that backslash. But look, man, let's get into the next part of the show, man. Hey, damn, Ben. For real.
Damn, Ben.
Seriously, man. You had to go in there and go ahead. You didn't even show us anything. And he had one good punch. One.
That little
He had
overhand that he caught him with.
he had an overhand right that scooted me up in my seat. I was like, oh, okay, B,
Okay,
okay,
man.
B,
Look,
okay, B. 20
look.
seconds later, what happened?
This is the classic. Uh, uh, what is it? The boyfriend, girlfriend type situation where
Yeah.
like you meet somebody and like you see the red flags, but you choose to like ignore it, and then it all blow up in your face. You're like, bro, I knew I shouldn't have did that. So I had questions during those little training footage film that they
Yeah.
put out. I had questions. I chose to ignore it. Nah, man, he gonna put on for the sport. He gonna do it. Did he hit mitts? I had questions. Nah, man, it's cool, man. Maybe he just playing around. I just let that go. Then my man stepped on the scale. Nah, cause Daniel Cormier and all those guys, when you at those bigger weights, that means they move better, but it's okay. I had questions. Then he got in there and he came out there with the with the that old school,
Yo, he had a grandma stance, man. He looked like somebody grandma finna punch dude in the face, man. Seriously.
and I said, "Damn, Ben, you wasn't ready." Did he train for the fight?
I don't know what he did. They said he trained with Freddie Roach. He had some top level boxers that he was sparring with,
Who?
but I,
I need names.
I don't know exactly who he was sparring with, but he said it was top level boxers he was sparring with, and they said he looked okay. I just all I can say about the situation. They said he looked okay, but in this
They said
fight,
CM Punk
man,
looked okay too.
I just,
How?
I don't
How?
know, man.
How? How? Listen to me when I ask you this. Answer this question to me. How is it that you could? How is it that Ben Askren can get embarrassed more than a 4-second flying knee?
Dude, I don't know, man. Cause seriously, cause Jake Paul isn't even like a legit pro boxer yet. He has fought two individuals that either have never boxed, or the first individual he fought as a pro fighter, that guy looked like he was a street fighter from around the hood, the way he was coming at Jake. And then all of a sudden you get a legit UFC champion, not UFC champion. He was a Bellator champion, one champion, UFC top ranked fighter, and in the MMA, and he goes out and puts this performance together against an amateur per se. I just, I don't get it, man. I don't see it. He came out and did.
Listen, listen.
I got one question for you though. I got one question for you. Do you think he took a fall?
No, no, no. So there's a difference between somebody taking a dive, and there's a difference between somebody not taking this fight serious.
He didn't put his
So,
hands up.
so there's a difference between. You got to think of it like this. Maybe he just never knew how to box.
Maybe.
You know? Because
Yeah.
but here's the thing though. Here's the thing. Frank Mir went out there and I was like, damn, Frank, what is you doing? Is that how? And so I'm looking at for the city, for the town, put on for the culture. I'm looking at myself as an MMA fighter. And I'm like, is that how we all look in a boxing ring? He was doing some weird stuff with his hands. Maybe that's just how it is, you know? So, but then I flipped back over because the UFC fights was going on at the same time. Everybody looked pretty, fluent. I was like, it's all right. I was just trying to scare myself. So, no, I don't think he took a dive. Not at all. I don't think he was prepared for this fight. I think he grossly underestimated what was going to happen. And when he got hit that first time, he said, shit. And then he said, well, not going to win this one. And then he pretty much probably just gave up beforehand. But with that being said, first and foremost, I just want to be like, bruh, how you letting this man get a Muhammad Ali photo on you like that?
Yeah, man. Him standing over you while you looking at the canvas, dog. Seriously. Like you could
he gonna
look
put that on his mantle.
At least Frank Mir went all what was it, 8 rounds?
6, I believe.
6 rounds. At least he went all 6 rounds. He didn't look good. He had his moments, but he went 6 rounds. And I was hoping that Ben Askren, even if he would have lost, would at least went 6 rounds and gave a puncher's chance or a fight with Jake Paul to the point where we're like, okay, he didn't win, but he's not a legit boxer, and he went 6 rounds with Jake Paul. This dude make Jake Paul look like he was Muhammad Ali, which is crazy because he's only have 3 professional fights and 2 of them with individuals that pretty much have never boxed in their life. Seriously.
Man, I was it which one fought KSI? Was that Logan?
Logan Paul fought KSI.
So I don't know who Jake fought the first time then.
He fought some YouTuber. He fought a YouTuber first, then he fought Nate Robinson second, and now he's fought Ben Askren. Well, I don't think we can say anymore. Say anything else about Ben except for damn Ben. That's what else you got to say about it?
Damn Ben. I thought you was gonna say Jake because I got something. I got something to say about Jake. I'm going to talk nothing but straight cash money shit about Jake. I cussed. Oh man. From here until it's forceful respect. It doesn't even matter. But shout out to whoever is taking care of Jake Paul's career.
Yes, they're doing a great job.
Because I need you to understand they plucked the great white hype out of the crowd and sold it to us. And they all knew what was going on, and we didn't have a clue, and they had us all fooled. You remember the movie Great White Hype? They picked this dude. This the last dude to beat him. No, good and daggone well, he won't gonna win. And they hyped him up, and they looked through people. And they said, Ben Askren, that's the one. Everybody's going to be all like, no, 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 he's totally going to. And they got us and they sold it and they did a wonderful job. Shout out to them because that was amazing.
Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
knew what was going to happen. Oh, man. Well, it was great.
Hey, and I feel like Jake Paul found the right promotion. He found the right opponent. This dude has put himself just like he did in YouTube and also in what's the 6 second one? What's that?
Hmm?
Before YouTube, it was
Oh, Vine.
he put himself in Vine that
Mm-hmm.
made him famous, went to YouTube, made him even more famous, and then got with Triller and put into his boxing career that put Triller on the map. Not only is Jake on the map, Triller's on the map, but let's get into the next part of the show. Triller Promotions, man.
Man, let's talk about Triller.
Look, man, this is a damn joke, man. Triller Promotion is a damn joke, dog.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't want to be. I'm gonna be super critical. I'm gonna be super critical. It's just what's gonna happen. Because first off, joke, but I understand thinking outside the box, right? But to kick the damn box down the road and don't even look in it has listen. This the whole promotion was whoever owned Triller. I was calling him Thriller up until I had to spell it. Triller. Whoever owned the promotion, they walked up. The producer came up and said, "Hey man, we got what you call it here. Do you got anything written out? Nah, man, just tell him to do his thing. Hey man, we got Snoop here. What you got? Nah, just tell him to do his thing. That's all they did was tell everybody, hey man,
Do your thing.
just
Talk over each other.
just do your thing. And oh, and then
Oscar.
what was the dude's name? But not we'll come to Oscar. But what was my man's name that was supposed to be like interviewing? Do you know his name?
He's an actual that guy is an actual sports broadcaster, I think. He's a
No,
sports journalist. He's an actual sports journalist. Yeah, the way he talks and the way he puts things together, he's an actual sports journalist. Seriously, he is. He is.
no,
They had Mario up there as the host of the show. He did an okay job, man.
no. Mario Lopez wasn't bad.
Mario Lopez was the only one on the panel that was making sense when it came down to the fights of what they should be doing. I know we're gonna get into Oscar De La Hoya, but I got one thing to say about Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg keeps it original. That is the only thing I like about Snoop. Snoop keeps the whole thing original. He says what is on the top of his mind. It comes out of his mouth, which is actually funny sometimes. Because in the last Triller fight with Mike Tyson, he said it's like two uncles fighting in the backyard.
And
That
that's
thing
what
was
we were
funny.
thinking. And that's what
It
we was
was what we
thinking.
was thinking. Two uncles fighting in the backyard. But from time to time, he said some words, some things that you shouldn't say on TV in that type of environment. But I like that from him. But who did you get the guy's name
No,
that you
I don't
talked
have
about?
his name. Okay, so he went back and he did an interview with Jake Paul. He was like, I don't like Ben Askren. I hope you knock him out. And then he goes to the
Oh,
Ben
you talking about
Askren's
Pete
room.
Davidson.
Is that his
You
name?
talking about
Pete
Pete Davidson.
Davidson?
Yeah, you talking about Pete Davidson.
What in the so listen, I knew something wasn't right when Pete Davidson was during that
Slap
during
boxing
the slap
slap
boxing.
contest
And
or
he's
something.
sitting there, he's like, look, I'm gonna call my manager and fire him. I was like, bro, we didn't want you here anyway. Are you and then he was did you see him? They were cutting to the promotion. My man not promotion, but to the desk. My man was sitting here trying to be serious and he was in the background like
Smoking weed, blowing in
and
his
blowing
face.
it in his face. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man. You'd think that nobody on that analyst desk has ever smoked weed before. The way
No,
they were just picking
exactly.
from the bottom of the tree with their weed jokes that they was making.
And Snoop up there got that daggone that fire. He
Snoop
got that
had
fire.
them boys bugging.
Snoop was the only one that knew what he was talking about because he's been on that fire for years now. The one thing I want to say about Pete Davidson is that this guy was wishy washy the whole night.
Oh,
He go into talk to Jake Paul, and Jake Paul got like five other individuals in the same area as him, and he sucks up to Jake Paul as if they're best friends, and he says, "I'm glad you invited me." Da 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 da. And then when he comes down and talks to Ben Askren, he's like, "Man, I hate that guy, man.
how
That
you
guy
talk
is
to?
a
I
tool.
hope you
That
knock him
guy
out.
is horrible. I hope you knock that guy out." And I'm just sitting there listening to it like, "Hey, man, did you just say that you put money on Jake?"
I got money on you to
just
win.
just like
Oh
45 minutes
man,
ago.
what
Like,
is
how you go back and forth? Seriously, how do you
he?
go back and forth?
The
And then
absolute worst. And then that
and
wasn't even the worst part of the show. It
what
was
was the
pretty
what
bad.
was the, what was the worst part of the show? Because I know what my idea of the worst part of the show was.
I'm gonna talk about the concert, and then we'll let you get into your. So listen to me when I tell you this.
How many daggone
How many? How many? It wasn't the concert aspect of it. It was the fact that they was like, "Hey, can we get Doja Cat?" And then they was like, "Yeah, she's gonna be expensive. Whatever, pay her. All right, what do you want her to do? Which song do you want her to do?" And then they was like, "Do you want her to do this
oh
one, this one, this one?" She could do all of them. Okay, well, what about Bieber? He could do his whole album too. Well, what about Mount Westmore, bruh? Let every single one of them do their individual song, and then we'll get them all together, and then they could do a collective song. And I'm like, listen, when I tell you, I was watching Violent Bob Ross. He was fighting a UFC fight, and it had just started. And then the concert had started. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna watch this concert. I thought the main event was coming up. So then I flipped over, watched the whole Violent Bob Ross fight, came back, concert still going. I said, what is happening? It was, man, what a joke.
well, I but this is what I think about Triller and what they did in this that aspect of the game as of right now. I feel like they're trying to bring two crowds together. I feel like they're trying to bring those individuals who like music and like the artists, as well as they're trying to bring in boxing fans too, because they're trying to get some legit boxers on the card itself. But I feel like they're doing too much.
Here's
This
the
this promotion is doing too much, and when you start doing too much, you start losing legitimacy, and I
here's the
feel like
thing.
they're just losing it, man. They just either do one or the other for me. And if
Yeah.
you do the other, don't do as much. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing.
Hit me,
Here's the
hit me with
thing.
a couple songs, then go to another fight. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the thing. So you got let's take a pool hall. Can you open a regular pool hall these days? Probably not. It'd be tough, right? But people open sports bars, they serve food, they got this, they got that, and they just happen to have a lot of really nice pool tables down there. People come in, they do their thing, they see the pool tables, they say, "Hey, I'll go play some pool." And it works, you know? So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I feel like they were trying to do. They're like, man, these people like this. Like, who is tuning in to watch the entire concert, but then tuning out for the fights until Doja Cat comes back on and then tuning back in?
I don't
Nobody.
know. I
Nobody.
don't know.
Now, if you give me a fight and then you give me a song, and then you give me a fight and then you give me a song, I can deal with it.
I can deal with that.
And
I can
then you
deal with
got
that.
other people, they might put up with the fights and they'll hear a song and that'll be okay. That's an extra population that you reach. But ain't nobody here was like, dang man, they got a concert going. Oh, there's a fight. Well, let me tune out and come back when the concert finished. Nobody.
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 So,
But
but
look,
what
man,
about what about your boy?
the Oscar De La Hoya was the worst analyst that I've ever heard in my life. Like, I think we could have done a better job, and we have not had any practice at going in front of a crowd or in front of a fight and actually analyzing it as it's going on. We've had the opportunity of analyzing a fight after it happened or analyzing a fight before it happens and giving our opinion about what's going to happen or what did happen. But Oscar De La Hoya, to be an actual boxer who has boxed in his lifetime, to go in and to sit in that chair and to say some of the dumbest things,
USSR.
USSR,
USSR.
and then for
Soviet
Bar,
Union. I'm like, I don't know
and
if
then
that
for
was.
Mario and everybody to like, hey man, it's USA, man, USA. And then he just keep repeating USSR, USSR.
And then
And then he just yelling, let's go, let's go. And I'm just like, look, man, you're supposed to be here for legitimate. commentary to give your opinion from your experience to let everyone know what you would do in this situation that the boxers are in at that point in time. Man. And then he was wishy washy too. He was going for Frank Mir, then he wasn't going for Frank Mir. I was just like, where you at, man? Are you on the fence? You don't even supposed to be on the fence. You supposed to be an analyst. You supposed to be in the middle.
He said USSR. They like, yo, that ain't even his nickname. It's just USS. My man was in the Navy. He's like Soviet Union. I'm sorry, what? No, which that and that wasn't even the sort of that was the worst part because it was pretty cringy. But
Yes.
one of the other bad parts is like they should have known to expect what they were going to get, and I don't know. Maybe he was drunk, so maybe that's why he went.
No, I think
He
he was high as heck.
he reverted back to like the kind of coaching days. All he doing was screaming like, "See, you got to go in, work the." And I don't even think he was on the mic. I'm pretty sure he was yelling to the people in the ring instructions on what to do. And then I'm pretty sure one of the corners for like Steve Cunningham. I'm pretty
Yes,
sure
was
one of
talking
his
back.
corners was talking back. So now we're having what was it, $50? We
Yeah.
listening to a conversation
Conversation. Yes.
between these people, bruh.
Yes.
I was
Bro,
like,
it was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in a long time, man.
that
Seriously.
blew my
And then
mind.
for Oscar De La Hoya to come back on Triller later on this year and box at 60, what is he, 56 or 65? I think he might be 56.
I would have to go with 56. I don't think he's that old.
I think he's 56-year-old, and he said he's gonna pick the right opponent or a good opponent to
Oh, he
fight.
48. What you talking about? 56?
No, he older than that. He
He
gotta
four.
be. He look older than that.
He
That's all I'm
four.
gonna say
He
about that situation.
48.
Man, I do, I do not want to watch Oscar De La Hoya fight. That's all I'm gonna say about that situation.
He may not
And
be that bad.
I'm gonna get off this topic, man, because I got so much more I can say about this guy, especially as a commentator and as a fighter. He was one of the top fighters in his days to go in. He was a person that was gritty, will put it to you. But as a commentator, he's the most horrible commentator I've ever heard in my life, man. But look, let's get into the next part of the show, man. Before we get into the next part of the show, man, hey, look, your ad could be at the bottom right corner. Uh, that could be you. Habits 365 right now is at the bottom of the corner. Backslash Trash Talk BS to get your 10% discount on any apparel that you would like from that website. But your ad could be there because we have plenty of time to put several ads in that bottom right corner. You can always hit us up at
My feet smell like butt at gmail.com.
hey, man, greatest email account ever made, man. But look, man, let's get into the what promotion, man. Seriously. Hey, Ben Askren made $500,000 to get knocked down in a minute and 30 seconds. The fight on your right was more interesting than the fight on the left, but the fight on the left made over $1 million just to perform after a concert.
So,
Son, Triller didn't. Triller, do you think Triller made any money?
no, no, no. Okay,
I feel
so
like they did. I feel like they did, but
no, 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 no. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's always going to be this. On the regional scene, there was this. There was a promotion that shall remain unnamed around where we were. It was a dude with a lot of money that happened to like fights, right? So
Mhm.
he didn't care that he was losing money and basically was like, nah, I mean, he's paying main event guys almost like what, 10 grand for regional fights, which is unheard of, unless you're me. And I saw a lot of tickets, whatever. Anyway, but the same thing with Trilla. Somebody got a lot of money, and as fast as they come in, is as fast as they're gonna disappear. There's no way they can sustain this business model. There's no way. Not they are not selling millions of pay-per-view buys. There's no way. Can't be.
It
And
might be, man. You never know.
I understand that we wanted to see Ben Askren versus Jake Paul, but they did not make enough money to pay Snoop, to pay Dummy on the doing the interviews, to pay Doja Cat, to pay Too Short, E40, Justin Bieber. I mean, they put on whole sets for these people.
Yeah. Yeah.
and everything. There's no
And
way.
they rented out Mercedes Benz Stadium for this promotion.
There's no way they're making that money. There's no way they're making that money back. Now, with that being said, this is boxing, so a lot of times promotions do lose money to put things on. I don't think in Mayweather's like last what 10 fights, anytime he fought, everybody lost money but him. So that's just a thing. When you look at these numbers and everybody's like, "Oh man, that's crazy." Nah, homie, that's boxing. That's just how it works. When you get to the top, which is I understand that's not where we think these guys should be, but they are at the top of the bill. They are going to get their they're going to get their pay. And this probably isn't even a lion's share. 500,000 probably splash in the water maybe. You know?
It is, man. For if you look at fighters, and we're going to talk about Teofimo Lopez later on in other news because he's fighting on the same promotion later on this year, which is going to be something serious. But if you look at how much he's getting paid, we're going to talk about it a little later, and you see how much Jake Paul and Ben Askren got paid. I gotta say that they had to make some kind of money because there had to be a business model set in place for them to at least break even so they can at least put on this Teofimo Lopez fight. Because why would you put on a $50 promotion to lose your ass?
Because somebody has a bunch of money and they want to see cool stuff. That's the only listen to me. I can tell you this. I could even I wouldn't blink if 4 days before the Teofimo Lopez fight happens and they go, this isn't enough buzz and cancel the whole damn show. And whoever the owner is just moves on with his license, cut his losses. I can guarantee you they are not making money off of these shows, but they just got stupid money.
So here's a question for you. Here's a question for you. The Triller promotion wasn't big at all the first fight because the first couple fights it wasn't even on Triller, was it? It was on DAZN
The zone?
first,
Who?
the Zone first.
Who?
I think Logan Paul fought on the Zone first, and then Triller took over with Jake and put on some of his last fights.
Triller, I
But
believe Triller's claim rise was the Mike Tyson fight.
yes, and
Yes.
then Triller took over the YouTube stars and Jake Paul and had him on next. Okay, so I feel like they might have made more money to start off with in order to get them to a point where they are now, where they're losing money. But then they got it to another point where they actually got a legit fight in Teofimo Lopez. And their business model is to make money in the end, but right now they're gonna lose in order to make later. Do you think that can happen?
I mean, that's just, I mean, when you start your business up, you got to think you're going to operate in the red for a little bit until you build enough of the snowball effect in order to make the money. But here's the thing: if you are going to do that, if you are going to make that money, then you have to either A, do it better than the guys that are already doing it, or B, do it interesting in a way that people want to watch. And they did neither.
You sure? Because Jake Paul has a big following on
No, no, no,
YouTube.
no, 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 no. I'm not talking about the fighters. I'm saying the promotion. They either have to put on a
Okay.
promotion better than what the UFC, all
Yeah,
these
I got you.
boxing places, top rank, are
I got
putting
you.
on, or do something different where it's intriguing enough to say, man, I want to watch this. Listen to me. When they say Teofimo Lopez is fighting, and then I go, hey, is that the fight with all the concerts and the slap boxing? I don't know if I'm not really trying to pay $50 for concerts and slap boxing. And then, bruh, this thing could have been over 4 hours before
Yeah,
it ended.
man. I lost a lot of sleep trying to watch this title fight that lasted a minute and 30 seconds, man. I've been tired all day because of that. Because I
So
sat and watched the title fight.
so
Seriously.
everybody who watched this fight that paid for it, this is the one that they're losing money on so that they can make money later, left with a bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah.
Not like a BKFC where we were like, I might have to catch the next one. No, we all left with a bad taste in our mouth. Like, bro, what are y'all doing? So how is it that they're gonna just make this money back? Teofimo Lopez is a big name. Teofimo Lopez sells, but I don't think he sells like the Paul brothers.
I don't know. I don't think he sells like the Paul brothers either. But with Jake Paul winning this fight, and before we get into other news, with Jake Paul winning this fight, there are many individuals calling out Jake Paul now. Like Dylan Dennis says, I want to put this dude on his ass.
Dylan Dennis will probably get that work. Then you heard it here first. Dylan Dennis ain't
So
gonna win no boxing match.
Dylan Dennis said he said he might get he said he want to give him the business.
Dylan
So
Dennis ain't gonna win no boxing match against Jake Paul.
so here's the thing though. He looks like Jake Paul's following the model of Mayweather, which he's gonna be the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like the promotion rallies around Jake Paul image of being the bad guy or the problem child? Next fight against Dylan Dennis, if it happens, or Nate Diaz, if it happens.
Nate's
Do
still
you
under
feel
contract.
true? But you never know. Hey, you never know. Do you feel like the promotion makes money with advertising Jake Paul for the fight after Teofimo Lopez?
Here's the thing: with every good fight, you gotta have a good dancing partner. And they found Ben Askren, and turns out he was a great dance partner. To where we were like, this is enough. We know Ben ain't out here gonna outstrike him, but he's gonna beat this guy up, right? I don't know, maybe. They have to find another guy like that, and I don't know if it's gonna be a Dylan Dennis. I don't think that that's the fight. First off, I
I
think
feel like he can carry himself though.
Dylan Dennis is gonna get smoked. Just to let you know. I just need you to know that. And then you say he's a bad guy, and we're gonna put a bad guy up against another bad guy. Ain't nobody rooting for Dylan Dennis to win. We don't like him neither.
This might be the only time I've heard you say something bad about an MMA fighter. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, nah, he left bad taste in everybody's mouth. You know what the fight is, and somebody suggested it, and then he came out on Twitter and was like, "Nah, man, he beat me up pretty bad. Whatever we was sparring." I think he said that. I'd have to look and see it. But if they said Jake Paul versus Mike Perry,
I don't know. I don't. Hell, oh, Mike Perry he gonna get in the business. Mike Perry is he's a
that
different dude.
that would
Mike
be a
Perry is a different dude.
I'm pretty sure Mike Perry tweeted and was like, "Man, what you call it? Put them paws. He got them paws."
Mike Perry is a different dude.
So that would be a more intriguing type fight. But we are
I'm still
still
on
in
the
the MMA realm.
true.
I
I'm
think they
still on
have
the
to go
boat.
somewhere else.
I'm still on the boat of Nick Diaz though.
He's no, they're not. See, whenever guys like that leave the sport, they're not gone. There's no limit to their contract, I believe. I'm pretty sure he's still bound under contract with the UFC,
You
even though
sure? Because I think the
unless he
doping.
unless he fought his contract out or they released him and he can fight for any other promotion. No, I do not believe
Okay.
so.
All right. Well,
So
hey
you
man,
can't just come out. GSP just can't come out of retirement and fight them without some blessings being had.
true, true. Hey, but Dana might give him blessings to go ahead and knock this dude out
I
so we
don't
can
see
shut
it.
him up.
I don't see it.
He might. But look though, before we get into other news, man, as I said before, your ad could be in the bottom right corner right now. We got Habits 365 every day. We keeping good habits, and you can get your apparel from habits365.com/trash talk BS, where you can get a 10% discount. But if you want your logo down at the bottom right corner, all you gotta do is hit us up at
My feet smell like butt at gmail.com.
hey man, greatest email account ever made. But in other news, man, Teofimo Lopez is expected to make 6.02. I don't know where they got that 02 from, man. They
They just
could have
had
just
to
said
let us
6
know.
million.
Hey, look,
They should have just said 6 million. But he's expected to make $6 million at his fight. I think it's in June. Is it June?
I believe it is June.
I believe it is June, man. But look, there's some background or backstory to this, man, and I want you to explain it to the viewers, man. What exactly happened with Teofimo Lopez making 6 million with Triller? Because of all the promotions that could have had Teofimo Lopez championship fight, why Triller?
Triller won the bid. So here's the thing: in boxing, which is crazy, is like you can negotiate the pay, and then if y'all get to like an impasse and just like, nah, I guess this ain't gonna work. You, all of a sudden, the news is like, yeah, we got a bidding war going on, and other promotions can bid on your services. And Triller came out with the highest bid, which again means that it's just some dude with a lot of money and put in some outrageous bid. So here's the thing: Teofimo Lopez didn't pick Triller. Triller picked Teofimo Lopez. So I can see Teofimo Lopez when he watched this last show, the same as Ben Askren was like, bro, what is going on here? Ben Askren was apologizing about the show while being interviewed on the show. And Teofimo Lopez, because they sat him up there, they tried to get the hype going. You know, hey man, I'm gonna need y'all to really, talk smack to each other and all that. Really hype this up. They did all that. And then they had the interview where he took his shirt off.
Yeah. I thought they were gonna go to blows there, man, but I also thought that was a little bit
Little stagey,
forced.
little
I thought it was
stagey,
forced. I thought it was forced. I was like, you got to have a little animosity against this dude from Australia.
little stagey.
It was a
So
little shaky, a little shaky.
so they are trying to hype this fight up, and I get it, and I'm happy for Teofimo. Get your money, but I believe this might be a one-off, and he can go. He's still the dance partner for this fight isn't what you wanted to be either.
No, no, I thought it should be somebody else, man. Out of all the people that he could have fought, somebody from Australia that really his name is not like out there. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense for this promotion though.
It makes sense for this promotion. It makes sense for whenever with the money that he's gonna get paid. He's gonna do a Stug Dizzle. Hey, I'm not mad at you, but when it comes down to it, like, does this mean that Teofimo Lopez is gonna be like the household name that everyone's talking about after this fight is over? Probably not.
No,
I doubt it.
I don't think so. I don't think this fight right here puts him to that level of like God status or like elite level. I mean, he's elite level boxer, but I don't feel like it puts him as a household name. And the Triller for putting a bad taste not only in my mouth but other people's mouths too, especially with as many concerts that they had for the past fight. I just don't see Teofimo Lopez's name just getting heightened because of this promotion. But who knows, man?
Who knows?
They
Maybe
might make a
maybe
lot of
they
money
did
from
all
this.
this and went, all right, so now we're gonna do it right for this next one
Yeah,
for the big fight.
yeah.
Look, but this would be the thing. You know what should have been the fight for this
What?
promotion that would have fit?
What?
Because everybody is like, YouTube sensation, pop sensation. Oh, everybody love him. Oh, we low. If they did Teofimo Lopez versus Ryan Garcia for this and had Ryan Garcia's fan base out here, because Ryan Garcia's fan base probably bigger than daggone Jake Paul on YouTube. Tell you the truth, that
Might
man,
be.
that man got some people following.
That man
So
can hit hard too.
so that would have been the fight to put on. So if he does this and then does another fight with Triller, and they get the Ryan Garcia fight, because I doubt that like Loma or Comey or anybody else is gonna be on this promotion. But if they get that fight, they might got something.
Hey man, he still ain't making that Mayweather money though. $100 million in one fight.
Nobody is making that Mayweather money.
He ain't making that Mayweather money.
Nobody.
He ain't even making that Conor McGregor
He
money.
ain't making that McGregor money.
McGregor made 10
Nobody.
million.
Nobody making that money.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy to go to a bidding war and still only make $6 million.
Be like that, man.
It's still a lot of money though. I wish I had at least a 0.25% of that. For
Look,
real.
Oscar's still up there. He just be persistent.
Man, I hope they don't bring Oscar back to this. Boy, I hope they do not bring him back, man. But what else you got for us tonight, man?
How about last day before we get out of here? How about I didn't catch it because I was watching the main event because they decided to make sure that both of them happened at the same time. Kind of annoying or whatever. How about Michael Buffer saying Ben Askren's name wrong?
Really?
That's what they said. Ben Askew or something. How Michael Buffer say my man in the main event said his name wrong.
I thought I heard it, but I didn't know if I heard it for sure. That
That's
might be
why
his
he lost.
first, that might have been his first mistake that he's ever made. Seriously.
That's why he lost.
Man, they sit in the back and look at names
First
all
off,
day.
I bet it costs more than Ice Cube and E40 combined to get Michael Buffer to come out there and do that.
Yeah.
That man
My
ain't cheap. But
yeah.
look,
Yeah.
it's been real.
It's always real, man, in the hood.
It's been good.
It's good tonight.
But it ain't been real. USSR. My bad.
Never that.